Welcome to the Freeport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw results, superstar spoilers, and birthdays, as well as deaths on this day in history. Alfred Hayes died on July 21st, 2005 at age 76. Longtime wrestler turned WWE broadcaster suffered a series of strokes that led to his death. Late midget wrestler Sky Low, aka Marcel Gauthier, born July 21st, 1928, died November 6, 1998 at the age of 70 due to a heart attack. Bob Orton Sr., who was born July 21st, 1929, the father of Bob Orton Jr. and the grandfather of WWE star Randy Orton, died July 16th, 2006. Happy birthday goes to the following superstars or ex-superstars: Sean Stasiak, aka Sean Stippich, turned 44 years old. He was born July 21st, 1970, went on to become a chiropractor and motivational speaker. Former WWE wrestler Giant Silva, aka Paul Caesar Just Silva, turned 51 years old. He was born July 21st, 1963. Robert Gibson, yes, former Rock and Roll Express fame, real name Reuben Kane. He turned 56 on Saturday. He was born July 19th, 1958. Tony Mamaluke, formerly of the FBI tag team faction of in the ECW fame, aka real name Charles Spencer, turned 37 years old. He was born July 19th, 1977. Mike Modest, aka Michael Cariglio, turned 43 on Saturday. He was born July 19th, 1971. WWE issued the following statement to ProWrestling.net regarding Lana's promo during the Battleground pay-per-view. At last night's segment during WWE's Battleground event was no way in referring to Malaysia Airlines tragedy. The storyline with characters Rusev and Lana have been part of WWE programming for years, for 3 months. The WWE apologizes to anyone who misunderstood last night's segment on the pay-per-view and who were offended. John Cena broke his personal record of longest WWE TV and pay-per-view win streak with his 14th straight win at Battleground on the pay-per-view. According to Rajgirl of WrestlingInc.com, Cena's previous best TV and pay-per-view winning streak was 13 matches back in 2007. As noted, Cesaro versus Dean Ambrose has been announced for Friday SmackDown. The match will be a no disqualification match. CM Punk was interviewed at the AP Music Awards in Cleveland by Chris Van Vliet and was asked whether he would return to WWE. He said no. Punk said never, 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 ever, 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 never, never. And he said this with a smile, and you can view the footage. This link right here. Entertainment reporter also was CBS 19 in Cleveland, spoke about CM Punk on the red carpet, and exactly what he said. Was Hall of Fame, and if he was a former superstar, as he replied, neither. If I'm CM Punk. Punk joked that they are going to go crazy on Twitter and hold me to it. He showed off his wedding ring and cracked that he's off the market now. He looked great and was in good spirits. And I'll also show you a photo of that. On either side, there were like two different photos. The WWE officials are not happy with what Punk said in this interview, and the way that everything has went down with his departure. It said that there are definitely issues between WWE and him right now. While it may appear that Punk's contract ended and everything went smooth, that's not the case, and why WWE does not like that. It's not confirmed to happen, but there is definitely a feeling that someday may be happening on WWE in soon. Possibly some consequences for Punk or for how he left the company. If they do actually intend on acting on Punk's leaving, look at as reflecting on AJ. This is my prediction. Kind of like what they're doing to Nikki Bella. Former WWE diva Caitlyn was backstage of all visiting friends from Miami. Apparently that's where she's living right now. WWE is apparently putting on signs or alerts during Bray Wyatt's entrance now to encourage people to turn up to light up their cell phones during his promos and during his entrance. WWE officials have discussed turning Nikki Bella to turn heel, but we don't know when they're going to do it. We're planning forward on it with the current Stephanie Man versus Brie Bella feud. The wife of a minor league hockey player who lives in the Tampa area figured out quickly what WWE star Chris Jericho was not actually in Miami for Monday's Raw TV show. As they did oops, wrote Mary Kate Ashley online. I can't believe Bray Wyatt attacked Chris Jericho in Tampa and somehow made it to the ring in Miami. My husband immediately recognized the Storm locker room because he changed there to play hockey in the Forum. Thanks to .net reader Hotspot. In other words, WWE taped the Wyatt family attack on Jericho that aired on Raw the day before Battleground. I'm surprised that we don't see more of this from WWE, especially when it comes to a part-timer such as Brock Lesnar. WWE star Dave Bautista appeared on the talk show with Jimmy Kimmel on Monday night as well, as he was promoting Guardians of the Galaxy movie along with fellow cast member Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, and the film will be released on August the 1st. Big Show was also backstage at Monday Night Raw in Miami, being the way filming WWE Studios Vendetta. Below is I'll show a photo on that as he went backstage, and he appears to be in better shape than when he left. He looks like he's lost a few pounds. Bo Dallas recently spoke with Donald Wood and the folks at Ring Rust Radio before Sunday's Battleground pay-per-view, and here are some of the highlights from the conversation, and you can listen to it at this link right here, on YouTube. And Donald Wood said, Sunday, July 20th, is WWE's Battleground pay-per-view on the network. You are scheduled to compete in the Battle Royal for the Intercontinental title. Do you believe that you're going to walk out as the new champion? Bo Dallas says, absolutely. You got to look at any situation as the most positive that you can, and the most positive is obviously me winning. So if I believe I can do it, then I can. Mike Chiari, I asked, so many of the all-time greats took the first step toward the top in the WWE by winning the Intercontinental Championship. Is that how you believe or how you view the IC title as a potential stepping stone to the main event scene down the line? Bo Dallas says, oh, absolutely again. Look at the Intercontinental Championship's legacy. You've got Randy Macho Man Savage. Ooh, yeah. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. The Intercontinental Championship is a legacy, not only something I've strived to get in my life, but be a big step in my career. Yes, it's a dream. If I could accomplish it, it would mean the world to me. Brandon Galvin asked, whoa, is there any specific backstory as to how you developed your current character? Was there a certain life-changing moment or other inspiration? Or did it happen to stumble on something completely different from the norm and run with it? Bo Dallas says, there was no one moment that I could look at that says this is what happened. It was just a series of events. I got the opportunity to become NXT champion down in the NXT developmental, and luckily I got 8 months as a champion, and it just started sort of develop. Things started happening, and everything was clicking on all cylinders and working it, and developed and morphed into its own monster. I just rolled with the punches, kept my eyes open and my ears sharp for everything that was coming in, and took advantage of it and ran with it. Donald Wood comes back. Before your incredible winning streak on the main roster, you were the longest reigning NXT champion in history. From your experience in both WWE and NXT, what are some of the major differences between performing in NXT and the main roster? And what advice would you give a star making the transition? And Bo comments, the way the developmental system is these days is different than it has ever been. They do so much to prepare us for making that jump from NXT to the big stage. but there's not many differences. NXT is its own brand, and it has become bigger than I think ever thought it would be possible. But if I can give any inspiration or advice to anyone coming up, really look at what you do and know that what works. It doesn't matter the size of a stage, even if it's working at a smaller stage. It will work at a bigger stage, and stay true to what you are and believe in yourself. Mike Chiari asks, your brother is currently having a lot of success in WWE as Bray Wyatt, and your dad works for the company as well. What's it like for you to work so closely with your family? Do you think it's been beneficial to your career so far? And Bo comments back with, absolutely. Road life is hard. You're always traveling and you never get to go home. But when you have your family on the road, you always have someone you can trust to bounce ideas off of and know what the advice you give is in the best interest for you. It's just a great feeling to know you can have someone like that on the road with you at the hardest time. And Brandon asked him a question. Not many have the opportunity to grow up in a wrestling family as successful as yours. Are there any memories that stand out to you that helped you prepare yourself to be a WWE superstar? And Bo says, oh yeah, tons. Just being around WWE superstars throughout the past, that I consider friends and family, and learning from them and watching them and having a little memory growing up back today, help today, and just having the camaraderie and seeing old friends and people I grew up with, seeing their sons and their daughters and being together with them. It's just like a family. And Donald asks, you have dominated SmackDown as one of the most promising prospects of the last several years. WWE returned to Philadelphia on Tuesday, October 7th for a SmackDown taping. How do you think the hardcore wrestling fans of Philadelphia will react to you? Bo says, oh, they're going to love me. I've got to look at any situation as a positive situation. And I know there are some believers out there in Philadelphia somewhere. If they're not, I'm going to make them one. And Mike asks, early last year you had a brief run on the main roster when you entered the Royal Rumble and then beat Wade Barrett the next night on Raw. Do you feel like that taste of being full-time WWE superstar helped prepare you for your current stint? Bo again says, absolutely, yes. I got the taste which lit a fire under me. In this industry, you have to evolve to stay relevant. What I wanted, I felt. So I had the 8 months to know that that's what I wanted and just worked as hard as I could, nonstop to get where I needed to be, develop this character, and develop who I am today. So yes, it absolutely lit a fire under me. Brandon asked another question. WWE Network has provided fans and wrestlers with the opportunity to rewatch and relive their favorite moments. Are there any wrestlers that you've gone back to study in order to help you continue to develop into one of the top WWE superstars? And Bo comments and says, oh yeah, constantly. I'm on the WWE Network all the time. If I have free time, if I wasn't on the radio right now, I'd be on the network. There's a ton. A lot of what I watch is Mr. Perfect. I'm a diehard fan of Mr. Perfect and Kurt Hennig and his work. If I could go back in time and be in the ring with him, I would do anything for it. But I watch a lot of Kurt Hennig's old matches. That was in last segment. And now for your Superstars report. Results: Adam Rose defeated Heath Slater. And Alberto Del Rio defeated R-Truth. Pre-show opened up with Byron Saxon, Booker T, and Alex Riley at the headquarters game. They talked about Battleground, and we see how the Fatal 4-Way event ended. They talked about John Cena and Booker, wondered how long he could keep pushing. They talked about Roman Reigns next. They hyped Triple H's big announcement for Cena's SummerSlam opponent. And we already know, since it's already been advertised on the poster, that's going to be Brock Lesnar. And we get a look back at Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose forming Battleground as we go to commercial. That little part that we already know. We'll come back to get a look at Bray Wyatt versus Chris Jericho at Battleground. It's announced that Nikki Bella will face Rosa Mendez, Eva Marie, Cameron and Alicia Fox in a handicap match. We get a look at when Brie Bella quit and slapped Stephanie McMahon. We get more talk about the panel from about Raw and going to Renee Young, who was with Nikki Bella. She says she's fearless and prepared for anything Stephanie can throw her way. Nikki says she has a surprise for her own tonight, and that WWE Universe won't want to miss. We come back for more promos, and they get a plug for Flo Rida's appearance on Raw tonight. We can look back at the Miz winning the Intercontinental title from the Battleground pay-per-view. Riley Bowley predicted that the Miz and Sheamus will unify their titles, and Booker Bowley predicts that Roman Reigns will be the WWE champion within 6 months. There will be a highlight reel with Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt tonight? Maybe. For hype for tonight's show, that's it for the pre-show. We're all kicked off with Triple H coming to the ring. He says walking around backstage, nobody would look him in the eye because they're all scared that he might blow a gasket over what happened last night with John Cena retaining the WWE World Heavyweight title. Triple H admits he is very mad, madder than he's ever been in a long time, but he has options. Triple H jokes that he's going to jump on social media and express his frustrations, maybe send an Instagram or a Vine. He jokes that if that doesn't work, he may be my friend. Maybe, and my friend Mark will just stop watching, or maybe he will just fire everyone in the back. Triple H says that, or he can just sit back and wait until SummerSlam to win. He guarantees that John Cena will no longer be champion after SummerSlam. Triple H wonders who gets the title shot, and Randy Orton's music hits, interrupts, out he comes. He wants his rematch, and he's been waiting for months. Orton says he will beat Cena if given the chance. Triple H says Orton is the front runner, but he's going to give the whole roster a chance tonight. He wants someone to impress him. Hell, this got me thinking they're going to have another Royal Rumble. To go the extra mile and prove that they want it. Orton says if Kane would have done his job at Battleground, Orton would be standing here with the titles. Kane's music hits and out he comes. Kane hopes that he's being considered to face Cena because he knows he can win and the one who can bring the title back to the Authority. Kane says he's tired of babysitting Orton. Roman Reigns' music hits and out he comes, throws him through the crowd to a big pop. Reigns comes in, says his name deserves to be in a conversation about the title. He says nobody wants to see Cena versus Kane, and nobody wants to see Cena versus Orton again. He says everyone wants to see Cena versus Roman Reigns, and that gets a big pop. Reigns tells everyone to believe that, and then drop Kane. Looks like it's going for Triple H, but turns and nails Kane with Superman punch. Orton escapes the ring, and Triple H had already went to safety as well. Triple H makes a handicap match for tonight. Now we go to commercial. Roman Reigns versus Kane and Randy Orton was up next. We'll come back, and Reigns locks up with Orton before breaking back and forth action. Reigns drops Orton with a headbutt. Reigns mounts Orton in the corner with right hands. Reigns with a back big right hand on the mat. Orton counters and slams Reigns' head into the mat. Kane tags in, and they lock up, going to the corner. Reigns turns it around and nails a Samoan drop. Orton is up, coming back in and hitting a big knee to the gut. Orton drops a few stomps to tag Kane back in. Kane with a big drop kick to the face for a 1 count. Kane worked over Reigns in the corner before keeping him down on the mat. Reigns turns it around and hits a suplex for a 2 count. Kane runs into a big boot. And then Reigns nails a big right hand off the top for a big pin attempt. Kane pulls Reigns through the second rope and out to the floor. Kane follows. Reigns reverses and sends Kane into the steel steps, legs first. Then we get to a commercial. Back from the commercial, Orton is in control of Reigns. Orton stops away for a 2 count, more tags, and they take control of Reigns. Reigns finally hits a Samoan drop and his apron drop kick. Reigns takes control until Kane drops him. Kane goes for a tag, but Orton refuses and says he should have been there for him. He leads to Reigns hitting a Superman punch and a spear on Kane for the win as Orton looks on. After the match, Orton comes back to the apron and teases getting him back in the ring with Reigns' first air down. Reigns' music hits and they have words as we go to replays. Still to come segment. Bray Wyatt on the highlight reel. Also Nikki Bella on a 4-on-1 handicap match. And we see Eva Marie, Alicia Fox, Cameron, and Rosa Mendez backstage. Stephanie walks up and says that she's excited about tonight. She says that they're going to annihilate Nikki Bella, and they like the sound of that. But they act like, first off, act like, what is she talking about? And then they smile as when she says it. And they all walk off back to commercial break. Nikki Bella versus Eva Marie, Cameron, Alicia Fox, and Rosa Mendez. Back from the break, out comes Eva, Cameron, Alicia, and Rosa. Nikki Bella was out next. She stops at ringside, hugs her sister, Marie, who was watching as a fan. Stephanie's music hits, and out she comes. She talks Marie and calls her a quitter. She says Nikki faked like she was surprising to see Bella. Bree. Stephanie says that Bree went to being one of the biggest divas to just another face in the crowd because she abandoned her sister for her husband. The B-plus player, Daniel Bryan, just gets a yes chant going, and Bree smiles at Stephanie. Stephanie blames what happened to Bryan and Nikki on Bree. Stephanie walked off, and Bree calls her a bitch. And get this, that was not censored during this segment. Stephanie asked for security to escort her out. She presented a ticket. Stephanie tells her she's blocking the view of other fans and she needs to sit her ass down. Well, she didn't say her ass sit down. Bree snatched the mic and says that she's going to do this out of spite because Bree left her handprint on Stephanie's face. Bree calls her a vindictive bitch again, which was not censored. Stephanie slapped her. Bree tries to come over the barrier, but security held her back. Stephanie tells them to get out of her and calls her a loser and a quitter. And she calls for the bell to ring. Bell rings. All four divas start beating down Nikki. Alicia hits her leg drop finisher for an easy win. After the match, the divas roll Nikki out of the ring. Stephanie tells her that that was all Bree's fault. And soon she will do just what Bree did, quit. We go to replay as Stephanie marches up the ramp. Still to come, guest star Flo Rida. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and we get a look at what just happened with Bree and Stephanie. And this time they're censored. And she says, bitch. Well, part of it was censored. And you get to the first males match. Second male match. Bo Dallas versus Damon Sandow. We go to ring. Bo Dallas finishing his entrance. Sandow was out next, dressed up as LeBron James. Let's get some heat. He cuts a promo about going back to Cleveland and tells Bo that he should do the same. Leave. They go at it, and Bo unloads. Bo sends Sandow to the floor. Sandow comes back in and actually gets some offense. Fans start "Let's go Heat" chant. More offense from Sandow as he keeps Bo grounded. And yeah, Bo was supposed to be heel in this one, not Sandow. Bo fans are right to chant for Bo. That's a face. Sandow misses his elbow, and Bo turns it around, hitting the running Bulldog for the win. And we come back for a commercial break, and then I'll just say that we're supposed to have the highlight reel, but Chris Jericho was attacked by the Wyatt family on the WWE app while he was being interviewed. Bray Wyatt appeared on the big screen, gets a big pop from Miami, and makes his way out with Eric and Luke while the arena lights lit up with foam. Bray welcomes us to the highlight reel and says our host can't be here tonight because he's indisposed of. Bray shows us a video of them beating Jericho down backstage on the WWE app. Bray hit Sister Abigail into a locker room wall and said Jericho is out. Bray told Jericho that sooner or later they all fall down. We come back to the ring. Bray says a loss in a battle means nothing to him because the war is what counts. Bray says war is his game. He created war. Bray goes on and says he's forever. And of course, the segment, follow the pilot. We go backstage. The trainers are checking on Jericho, supposedly. R-Truth is also there. Jericho is bleeding from his ear and trying to come to. We go back to the announcers, still to come. Triple H's big decision for SummerSlam. We see Flo Rida and his entourage walking backstage. He stops and greets Big E, Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, and Emma and Naomi. We go to the ring. Out comes new WWE Intercontinental Champion, The Miz. We go back to commercial. If you watch any replays of Raw, you can see it's a different locker room. See any differences in it compared to a regular locker room? Alright, Miz vs. Dolph Ziggler was up next. Back from the break, we get a look at Battleground Battle Royal. Dolph Ziggler was out there with a big pop. The Miz stalls, start, and avoids Ziggler. Miz goes to the floor, and Ziggler chases him around the ring. They go in, and Ziggler nails a big fast press. Miz protects his face and goes back to the floor. Ziggler drop kicks him into a barrier. Ziggler follows to the floor with a big chop. They come back in, and Miz works over Ziggler. Ziggler turns around and drops a bunch of elbow drops. Miz avoids the last one and goes for the ropes. Miz gets another cheap shot in and takes back control. More back and forth for a moment, and they fight on the apron. Ziggler charges the Miz and drops him hard on the floor as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Ziggler is making a comeback. Miz beats him down and stomps away. More offense from Miz and another 2 count. Ziggler with a quick roll up. Miz knocks him right back down and takes back control. Miz misses with a big close out of the corner. Ziggler finally gets some offense in and looks to make a comeback. Well, Miz rolls him up out of nowhere for a 2 count. Miz then hit and nails the backbreaker, but Ziggler blocks the neck breaker with a 2 count. Miz drops Ziggler for another close 2 count. More back and forth. And counters as Ziggler blocks the figure 4 and drops Miz on his face for another close 2 count. Miz continues working on Ziggler's legs and goes for another figure 4 again. Ziggler turns it into a 2 count. More back and forth as Miz finally gets to the figure 4 applied. Ziggler makes it to the bottom rope and breaks a hold. Ziggler blocks another hold and nails the famous for a 2 count. Figure 4 applied again. Ziggler makes it to the bottom rope again, breaks a hold. Ziggler blocks another hold and nails the famous for another close 2 count. Miz blocks a zigzag and nails the boot to the face. Ziggler blocks the skull crusher finale, another counter. Ziggler nails a zigzag for a non-title win. Well, they didn't announce for the title, but I was thinking for the title. Well, I thought Ziggler won, but I get to thinking. We'll go backstage to Triple H and Seth Rollins. Apparently, Rollins wanted the SummerSlam title shot. Triple H says that there's no reason for him to because he has briefcase. So what's he gonna do when Cena loses at SummerSlam? Who's he gonna cash in on? I don't think it'll be Lesnar. Rollins says every time he tries to cash in, Dean Ambrose screws it up. He says Ambrose won't stop until they shut him down for good. Cesaro walks in and makes his case for the title shot. Cesaro says as of right now, he's no longer a Heyman guy. He wants to be Triple H's guy. Rollins says they have words. Triple H says if Cesaro takes care of Ambrose, that would impress him. Cesaro says he considers it done and shakes his hand with Triple H before walking off. And we see AJ Lee skipping backstage. She stops, smiles at Paige as she's sitting on the table. And they both head to the ring together. Back to commercial break. So we get AJ Lee and Paige versus Emma and Natalya. Back from the break. And Natalya's wearing new bottom gear. Looks great on her. Back from the break. And this is kind of like Sable. You know, with the black almost. You can see her. This is almost like that. Looking great to me. Back from the break, and we get Paige followed out by Diva Kim and AJ. Emma and Natalya already waiting in the ring, and AJ locks up with Emma to start the match. AJ takes immediate control and sends Emma to the corner before tagging in Paige. Paige misses in the corner, and Emma applies for rope submission. Natalya tags in and goes at it with Paige. They trade moves. Natalya applies a sharpshooter. Paige finally tags out, and AJ breaks the hold. AJ hits the Shining Wizard and Black Widow on Natalya for the win. After the match, AJ and Paige celebrate together. Momentarily, AJ goes to leave, but Paige grabs her hair from behind and slams her head to the mat. Paige mounts her on those with headbutts. Paige keeps it up and tosses AJ outside to the floor. Paige follows, screams, and throws AJ into a barrier. Paige sends AJ face first into the ring post, and she lands hard. Paige screams that this is her house. Fans boo her, and Paige tosses AJ over the announcer table next. Paige calls up the announcer table and taunts AJ some more. Paige skips her way up the ramp. mocking AJ as fans boo, and then we see replays. Still to come segment. Triple H's decision and Flo Rida backstage, back to commercial. Fandango versus Zack Ryder was up next. Back from the break, Fandango was wrapping up his entrance. Zack Ryder comes and stomps on the stage. He brings out some Ray and Layla. They dance ahead into the ring with Ryder. The bell rings and Fandango goes to work. They trade shots, but Fandango nails a drop kick. Fandango Ryder over for a pin attempt and applies a headlock. Ryder tries to fight free, but Fandango keeps up the attack. Ryder slams Fandango's face into the mat. Ryder goes up top, and Fandango runs into the knees. Fandango blocks a missile drop kick. And then another Ryder. Ryder nails a Rough Rider for the pin, and Fandango gets his foot over the bottom rope. But Layla knocked it off, allowing Ryder to get the win. And we get a look back at Bree and Stephanie from earlier, and the centered shot that kind of shot was called bitch. Shot. It was still a little bit delayed. So you could hear what was said. And we get Renee Young backstage with Flo Rida. She welcomes him back to WWE. Flo jokes that Triple H might be so impressed with his performance that he gets the title shot. Heath Slater walks up and asks if he remembers him. Flo doesn't. Heath reminds him and shoves him. Flo shoves him back into part of the set. Then we go to commercial break. We come back from break, and Stephanie is in the ring. She introduces Flo Rida. He performs some of the songs on the stage. He finishes, and Stephanie asks the crowd for one more pop. The announcers plug the show until we see a situation developing at ringside. It appears that some detectives are trying to take Stephanie away, but a member of security is trying to stop them. Fans chant yes, and they sing goodbye to Stephanie. The cop asks Stephanie if she understands her rights. One of the cops mentioned an allegation that Stephanie assaulted Bree. Something we all saw on live TV. He says that's battery in the state of Florida. They put Stephanie in handcuffs as the crowd pops. Bree appears at the barrier, and they scream at each other. Security takes Bree away, and the detective takes Stephanie away in handcuffs. Stephanie argues with the police as they take her away. Coleslaw plays up the seriousness of this situation. Triple H confronts them backstage. He asks to see their badge. Stephanie starts crying and says that it was self-defense. Triple H yells to Jerry on the phone, referring to WWE's lawyer. Triple H tells the police that they better be sure of this. The careers are on the line. If not, they put Stephanie in the back of the car. Triple H tells her to calm down. Triple H tells Jerry is on the phone that she will be out in 5 minutes. They drive away with the lights on and to go to commercial. He even comments on how good the car looks, how good that they're paid off, and what have you. We come back and we get replays. Joey Mercury approaches Triple H backstage about the SummerSlam title shot. Triple H says family comes first. It's his wife. He goes to leave but stops. He says she has to get processed. The lawyers are already on the way, and he's probably got enough time. He tells Mercury to tell them he will be there as soon as he makes his decision. Then we get Ryback Soul versus Big E and Kofi Kingston. Could this be their heel turn? Tag team? And new manager? Wait and see what happens. We go to the ring. Ryback awaits with Curtis Axel while Big E and Kofi making their entrances. Go back and forth by Axel to start the match. They end up the end comes when Axel and Big E tumble out to the floor, and Kofi looks to be putting Ryback away with the SOS, but Ryback eventually got a rollover after the SOS. Then pinfall as he over-rotated, and Ryback got the pinfall. After the match, there appears to be a tension between Kofi and Big E. Xavier Woods appears in a red and white suit. He says you can't move ahead by shaking hands and kissing babies. He says this is their time. He says it's up to them to find order and to find purpose. Xavier says that they don't ask any longer. Now they take. Kofi and Big E nod in agreement. Well, Xavier did this manager stick and in NXT for a while, and now he's doing it on the big main screen. Then we see Triple H backstage on the phone as we go to commercial. We come back and we see the Wyatt family attacking Chris Jericho from earlier, and we get Rusev versus Great Khali in the match. We go to the ring, out comes Lana and Rusev, who is waving a Russian flag. Lana takes the mic before she can get going. Out comes Great Khali. They size each other up momentarily as Khali backs Rusev up to the corner. Khali gets a big chop in the chest. Khali with another shot, and then Rusev beats him into the corner. Rusev with a shoulder thrust. Rusev with more shots in the corner. Khali with a big right hand. Rusev runs into a big boot. Khali with some more chops in the corner. Rusev stuns Khali, but runs right into a big overhead shot. Rusev knocks Khali down with a shoulder and super kicks him in the face. This is already down. Lana tells Rusev to crush and he stops Khali's back before applying the accolade for the win. Rusev broke the hold when Lana came in the ring. They posed as a Russian flag, flopped down above the ring. We go to a preview of Sheamus on tomorrow night's Royal Pain. And his only segment in it was what they showed on the screen. You got at my pool. That was just about it. I watched Royal Pain myself. That's all there was on the show. Another bizarre backstage promo with Stardust and Goldust. Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro was up next. We go to the ring. Out comes Dean Ambrose to a pop. Back to commercial. Back on the break. We get another replay of Stephanie and Bree. Renee is backstage with an update, and Stephanie has been taken downtown. We go back to the ring. Cesaro and Ambrose go at it brawling. Renee does ask Triple H a question. Ambrose ends up dumping Cesaro to the floor and leaping out onto him. Ambrose sends Cesaro into the barrier and back in the ring. Cesaro takes control and works Ambrose over. We see Rollins, Orton, and Triple H watching backstage. Cesaro suplexes Ambrose on the floor. Cesaro brings it back and works on the injured shoulder. Ambrose fights back to his feet, but Cesaro drops him with a big shot to the jaw. Cesaro with more stomps. Ambrose grabs him and turns it around out of nowhere. Ambrose tosses Cesaro out of the ring and leaps out on him, but leaps onto an uppercut instead as we go to commercial. Back for the break. Cesaro is working on the shoulders. Ambrose finally breaks free and they trade shots. Cesaro ducks the clothesline and nails the German suplex. Only for a 2 count with the Authority looking on again. Triple H is on the phone. Ambrose gets crotched on the top and hit with a big kick. Cesaro climbs up for a superplex, but Ambrose blocks it. Ambrose headbutts Cesaro to the mat. Ambrose nails a big drop kick. Ambrose with a crossbody and punches. As Cesaro runs into an elbow, Ambrose goes to the top and hits a tornado DDT for a 2 count. More back and forth action as Ambrose sends Cesaro to the floor and leaps out onto him. Ambrose nails a big clothesline for another 2 count. Cesaro hits a shoulder and another clothesline. Cesaro with a 2 count now. Cesaro gets Ambrose upside down in the corner and unloads away until the referee backs him off. Ambrose throws Cesaro's shoulder into the ring post a few times. Ambrose goes outside for a steel chair and the crowd pops. Ambrose swings it at Cesaro's shoulder up against the ring post and gets disqualified. After Dale, Ambrose tosses another chair in the ring and some more. As Cesaro has already left the ring. And Ambrose says, "Is this all you got again?" That is that segment. And Renee is backstage with Triple H. Okay, well, I got a little bit too early on that one. And this is where she's talking to Triple H. As he's going to the ring for his announcement, she asks if he should be with his wife right now as he glares at it. And that's it, the end of that segment. Back for the break. And Triple H is in the ring. He brings out John Cena's SummerSlam opponent. Randy Orton comes out, approaches the ring, and Roman Reigns beats him up. Reigns fights him off into the crowd, and they disappear. Fans chant for Lesnar. Of course, Triple H looks frustrated. Paul Heyman appears and says Triple H should implement Plan C. He brings out Brock Lesnar to a big pop. Lesnar marches to the ring with Heyman. Triple H shakes his hand, makes the match official. Heyman cuts a promo and says Lesnar intends to conquer Cena and take the WWE World Heavyweight title. Heyman goes on pressing Lesnar and reminds us he ended the streak. Heyman shows us a replay of the Undertaker's loss at WrestleMania. Heyman tells us that Lesnar beat Taker so bad that Vince McMahon had to ride to the hospital with him because he was worried for his life. Heyman says that the same beating awaits Cena. Heyman says Cena can't escape this beating. Heyman declares that Lesnar will take Cena down at SummerSlam and punch his face in. Heyman says Cena is going to be hurt and injured. Lesnar is going to mangle Cena, and then, and only then, Lesnar is going to F5 Cena and strip him of the dignity he has being WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The same way that he has stripped The Undertaker of his dignity. Heyman says 15 world titles in 10 years sounds like something worth conquering. Heyman pledges allegiance to the conqueror that stands before him. Heyman wraps an awesome promo. He introduces himself and says his client will beat John Cena at SummerSlam to become the WWE Heavyweight Champion of the world. Lesnar's music hits and Raw goes off the air with him smiling. And what happened afterwards, thanks to Zachary Coleman, who attended Raw in Miami, Florida, set the following Dark Match main event. Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns defeated Kane and Seth Rollins by disqualification. And that ends my report for Raw Superstars in Cortez. Thanks again. Peace out. God bless. See one way be you. By the way, you didn't know, you better call.